because Congress was busy for the first time in American history doing a completely partisan rescissions bill. Just hours after the Senate, the House voted to approve President Trump's $9 billion spending cut package. The bill claws back billions in previously approved congressional funding. 2 Republicans joined all House Democrats in voting against it. The majority of the cuts, $8 billion, comes from foreign assistance programs such as migration and refugee assistance, as well as USAID. Another $1.1 billion are being cut from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which includes news outlets like NPR and PBS. The bill doesn't touch funding for PEPFAR, the hugely successful global program to combat HIV and AIDS. That's after lawmaker outcry on that. Meanwhile, the White House budget chief, Russell Vought, is now signaling more cuts could be on the way. He told reporters yesterday the president will likely send another rescissions package request to Congress soon. And Daniela, it's the way that he is talking about it, the OMB chief, that is roiling Capitol Hill, because he had quotes recently where he said, actually, the funding process, which is typically one of the last rare bipartisan vestiges, should be more partisan. Why is that such a big thing to say?
I just want to say super proud of our fellow who asked that question of whether the appropriations process should be bipartisan. But it was interesting to hear Caroline Leavitt say at the White House yesterday, oh, no, he meant it needs to be more bipartisan, when really he meant he doesn't want Democrats involved in the process. That could really sour relationships on Capitol Hill. I mean, you're already seeing Democrats on Capitol Hill in the appropriations process furious by those comments, saying this needs to be bipartisan. You can't just pass appropriations bills along party lines, and those relationships souring even more and could affect how the government is funded going forward.
And they were already inclined not to help Republicans fund the government come September. So what does this do in the landscape? And the White House is walking back those comments, which I thought it was interesting.
I mean, this is the key thing with the rescission package. What we're watching here is basically Republicans and Democrats on Capitol Hill agree to a funding level. They send that funding to the White House. And then the White House sends it back through a different process and says, we're going to cut out all the stuff the Democrats wanted. So if you're a Democrat, I think it's very difficult, especially given what Russ Vought said. And I've known Russ for almost 20 years. He is not somebody who is looking for bipartisan deal-making ever on anything. You know, with the White House saying that, and I know they're trying to walk it back now, but with the White House saying that, they're just giving up the game, right? Like, it would be very clear. If they get money from Congress, they will take the things the Democrats want that they negotiated with the Republicans and strip them out. And they can do it 2 different ways. One, they can try to impound it, which means that they don't spend the money that Congress told them to spend. That's something Russ Vought believes in, even though the Constitution, according to the courts so far, doesn't allow for that. And then and through this rescissions package where they can basically take it back and say, even though you needed 60 votes to pass these things in the first place, we have a mechanism by which we can strip it with only 50 votes.
And Schumer was very vocal about this yesterday, right?
Incredibly vocal. I mean, this is a fast-track process that doesn't need Democratic votes. And the way they see this is just bad faith negotiations from the beginning. Also, this rescissions package is less than 1% of the actual funding of the government. So they're saying, what is the point of this if this is what you're doing? But I think it's interesting, really. It's touching on PBS and PR. That is the outcry we're seeing from a lot of Republican lawmakers in rural states, in rural areas. They disputed a lot of this funding. We saw PEPFAR removed. So there's even conflict within the party on some of these cuts.
Yeah. I mean, they basically decided, to Danielle's point, that they decided to shoot Big Bird as a means of saving money, and really it's not that much money.
It's not that much money.
It's not that much money. And I think that's one of the things, too, when you come back to the bipartisanship of it. Even Lisa Murkowski, other members are saying this is not how we do business. We're going to see, of course, where this long tail actually leads us as we go into another funding fight in September. But for now, a lot unpacking here in Washington. 2 amazing reporters to do it. John Allen, Daniela Diaz, thank you both for coming on.